In Chapter 6, we're going to start looking at exponents. And in 6.1, the first thing we're going to do is look how to simplify exponents. Today, we're going to do Learning Objective 6.1a, where we're going to do what's called an expansion method of exponents. Following this, Learning Objective B, I will actually introduce the proper rules and tricks that we can use. But let's just first look at what the exponents mean and a nice, easy way to evaluate them by expanding them out. So what we first need to do is remember what an exponent means. And in this format, if we just look at, go back to something basic like 3 squared, most of us remember 3 squared is 9. But why? Because this means take the number 3 and repeat it twice. So what would you do is do 3 times 3. You repeated it twice, and you multiply together and get 9. So that's what we're going to do for the expansion method going forward. So if we look at this first example, we have a squared happening 4 times. So I'm going to write that out 4 times. A squared, a squared, a squared, and a squared. Then I have 2b happens 3 times. So I'm going to write that out. 2b, 2b, 2b. Now technically this is not fully expanded. What I really should do to finish this process is now expand out a squared. A squared means do a twice. So I'm going to do that for this first problem, which means a and a for the first one. This would be 2 a's. This would be 2 a's. This is 2 a's. And then we still have the 2b, 2b, 2b. Now if you look at this, there's no plus or minus signs in between everything. There's nothing, which means multiplication. So the one thing I can do is I can notice that there's a 2, a 2, and a 2. To multiply those together, you're going to do 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Do not add them, don't say 6. So I'm going to write 8 and put the number first. Then I'm going to follow it alphabetically with the next letter, and that would be the letter A, and I just count how many of them there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's A to the 8th power. Then the last one are the B's. There's 1, 2, 3 B's, so I do B cubed. And that would be my answer. Now on Schoology, to type exponents, a couple of things. You must make sure your international keyboard is turned off. It's going to look nice and clean when you type it in if the international keyboard's on, but Schoology does not read the exponent and it will mark you wrong. When you turn it off, you're not going to be able to write it like a cute exponent, so what you have to do is this. You're going to type in 8A. There's a caret key. It looks like an upside down V. That means exponent, and I'm going to put an 8. Then I'm going to do B, that caret key again, and then a 3. So it looks a little bizarre, but that is what Schoology will read, and we would get this problem correct. Okay, I want to walk through 2 more. This one's a little bit more involved because we have a fraction with the top and the bottom. We're going to do the top, which is the numerator first, and then we'll do the bottom. If we look at this, I'm going to do the expansion method just on this. So here I have to repeat the x 4 times. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here I have to repeat 3y 2 times, it says. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and expand the bottom. This whole piece has to happen twice. So I'm going to write that out as x cubed, y squared. And I'm going to do it one more time, x cubed, y squared. Now, to do complete expansion, I should look at the denominator or the bottom and actually expand out the x's and the y's. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to first rewrite the top again. Now the bottom is going to look like x cubed is going to be an x 3 times. This y has to happen twice. X cubed again is 3 times. And this y is twice. So this is considered fully expanded. Now to finish this up and simplify, all I'm going to do is look for things that match on the top and the bottom. And let me tell you why. For example, if I asked you what is 2 divided by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. Because these 2's cancel out, what happens, those cancel out and you get 1 and 1, you get the number 1. Which tells me if I have one thing on the top and one thing on the bottom that match, I can cancel them out. So I'm going to cross this x out with this x with this x, this one with this one. I'm going to do this x with this guy. This y crosses off that y, this y crosses off that y. And what's ever left is going to be my answer. Now again, remember there's no plus or minuses, so everything here is multiplication. So when you look at this 3 that's left over here in this 3, it's not 3 plus 3, it's 3 times 3, so that's 9. Down here I have an x 2 times, so I'm going to put it together with a little 2 exponent, and I have a y 2 times. And that's going to be my answer. Again, if I were typing this in Schoology, what I would type would be 9. The fraction bar is just the backslash. I'm going to do x, caret 2, y, caret 2 to get the right answer. Now this last example is a little more involved. Before we do the expansion, we do want to get rid of the next negative exponents. To get rid of them, I want to make them positive, and the way to do that is to actually take the thing that is being raised to the negative exponent. So here it's d to the negative 1/3. When you take it and if you move it across that fraction bar to its other side, the exponent then becomes a positive number. So on the bottom though, there's a negative 1 also, c to the negative 1. If I move that across the fraction bar into the top, it'll become c to the positive. So let me just show you what this looks like as we just clean up the negative exponents first. Writing the original thing. I'm not doing any expansion yet. Now this c negative 1 comes up, so I'm going to do c1. Then I have on the bottom 3, d squared, and this d comes down, so it's d cubed. Now this looks just like the last problem, and I'm just going to do the expansion method on that. Let's expand out the top first. So I'm going to do the 6c cubed d 2 times. I'm going to do the c twice and then the c once. On the bottom, to expand out, I have a 3. I have d 2 times and d 3 times. I'm going to do d twice and then d 3 times. Now I do want to show you again full expansion, so I'm going to have to come back, and these c's up here still have exponents, so I'm going to factor them or expand them out completely. So we'll do this. Do 6, a c, 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 and a d. 6, c, 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 d, and then there's 3 c's at the end. On the bottom we have the 3, and then I have 5 d's. Now I come on in and just cross off what I can. So I'm going to get rid of this d and that d, this d and that d. And in terms of the letters, that's all I can do. So let me crunch this together really quick first. I have 6 and 6 is 36. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 c's, c to the 9th. On the bottom I have a 3. And I have 1, 2, 3 D's. Now, part of the way that I know I'm almost completely simplified, my C's are good because you only want one variable of each. So I have 1 C, which is great. I have 1 D. If there were 2 C's written out there, I'd have to crunch them together. Now, I always want to stop and pause and think about the number. Go back to grade school. Can you simplify 36 over 3? In this case, you can. What we can do is we can take out a 3, so I'm going to take a 3 out of here, so 3 divided by 3 is 1. 36 divided by 3, if you need, get your calculator, is going to be 12. So our final answer now is going to be 12 c to the 9th over d cubed. And that's what we have.